Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Chamberlain, the Air Force guy, RV extraordinaire, coming from Beckleys Camping Center today to bring you the all-new. This is the Momentum. It's a 29 Go. This is a West Virginia inspired style toy hauler, and I'll tell you, you are going to have to wait to see this thing. This is impressive from the get-go, and I'm telling you, it's going to go ahead and make people's hearts melt. Well, maybe not melt, but I'm going to tell you what, the guys are going to be drooling over this. This is going to be a must-have for those of you that want to have the toy hauler without having those odors inside your camper. So first time watching, I do appreciate you watching. Please do hit that subscribe button, and for those of you returning, I really do appreciate it. But let's get on to this camper. So looking at the front, really nothing has changed from the previous Momentums. You're going to notice the molded fiberglass cap there. Benefit to you there is the fact that that's more durable than just regular fiberglass skin. Then of course you have the rock guard down below there, being able to take the brunt of the debris that you're going to be kicking up against that as you're driving down the roads. You're going to notice you do have the power tongue jack, and again, the benefit to you there is the fact that it makes it a lot easier getting it on and off your vehicle. 20-pound tanks, trying to help with lessening the weight on the tongue here. And then of course, back in this area, you're going to be able to connect up to 2 different batteries if you wish, allowing you to extend your boondocking capabilities when you're not able to run the generator. I'll give you a view of what it looks like on the off-door side of the camper. Now, just to give you an idea of some of the weights, and by the way, I'll have all the specifications and pricing down below this video, as well as my contact information. But as you can see here, this has a 12,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. You have 6,000 pound axles on here, 3,300 pounds of cargo carrying capacity. Now, I am not sure you're going to be able to see this in the video, but they have the E-rated Goodyear tires, the Endurance. So I know that's going to make some people very, very happy. Now, the first storage door on this side, it's a small opening, but you do have a pretty good storage capability in here. And notice how you're going to have, again, the sensor light. So you can have it on all the time, off, or you can have it set for motion sensor, making it easier for you when you want to put things in here. You just wave your hand in there. This is going to be for your sprayer hose, which you're going to be able to use. I'll be getting to that momentarily. And then of course you have for your stabilizers that would also work for the power tongue jack in the event that the motor froze up on you. Now, behind door number 2, we have the Onan 4000. This is the quiet generator. This is a gas generator, and this will be able to power all your equipment on here if in fact you do add this as an option. It is an option, so you don't have to add it if you do not wish to. Now, I know you might be saying, well, Paul, how are we supposed to operate that? You said that it was a gasoline generator. Well, let me show you. So the generator is up front, and then when you're looking towards the rear, that is where you're going to have your gas station. So this is going to be where you're going to be able to check to see how much fuel you have in it. Also turn on your pump. So in the event that you want to use the pump. Now I know you're probably saying, Paul, what do you mean pump? Well, what you have is, in the event, right in here is your pump. Notice how it's a magnetic door holder there for you. This is your pump. In the event that you're not going to be using the gasoline for your generator, you can use this for your toys. Now what you have here is, this is a 30-gallon fuel tank, and as you can see, it's up underneath here. While we're under here, this also is where you store your sewer hose, so it's not inside a compartment. So this is your pump station slash gas station, if you will. This is where you're going to fill up 30 gallons so you can run your generator. Now keep in mind, the generator will probably use somewhere about a half a tank or so, I mean, up to half a tank, I'm sorry, a half a gallon of fuel per hour depending on how much power you're utilizing. So you can just easily do the math there. Now you are going to notice that there are no locks on the generator. That is the way it's going to come from the factory. And that's more of a safety factor by not having those. In the event there's a problem, somebody's able to get in there. Now for your generator exhaust, it's right down here. Now if you wanted to, you could connect something to that to throw the fumes over top of your camper if you wish to. They do make those things. Check them out if that's something you want to do. I've seen people also rig it up where they're having it blow into a bucket, you know, a 5-gallon bucket of water, and that cuts down the fumes, cuts down the noise as well. So let's take a look behind door number 3 here. Door number 3, this is where you're going to have your Nautilus system. You're going to have your outside shower, black tank rinse, your water pump here for winterizing and city water connection and all that. Battery disconnect. So your battery disconnects up here. This is for your black tank flush. This is when you want to sanitize or winterize. And then of course your city water hookup. And as you can see, it just tells you how you're supposed to have these for each one of those usage. And that's only applying to these two. Does not apply to your black tank rinse. Now also in this hole, you also have, or behind this door, you do have a 110 outlet in the event you need to put anything in here. Cable connection, that's going to go to all of the cable connections in the camper. Then you have a satellite, and of course your auxiliary. If you're hooking up satellite, you got to go satellite and then the bedroom, so that you're going to have a box for satellite at each of those TVs. Now earlier I mentioned water. I don't know if I mentioned the water pump, but you do have a water pump switch there. Nice thing with that is the fact that in the event that you have fresh water on here and you needed to turn on your outside shower, you don't have to run inside to turn on the water pressure. You're able to do that right here. Now you're going to be bringing your water hose and cable hose up through here, as you can see. Now because you're bringing that from the outside, highly recommend you get some brass wool and put that in there around your hose and cable and keep those critters out of your camper. Now the beauty of having this battery disconnect, when you're not connected and you're not utilizing it, what you do is you just go ahead and shut it off. And then you have a cap you can put on it if you want to keep debris out of it. Not sure why they need that, but they do have it here. And then when you're plugged in, or if you're towing it down the road, or if you need to use lights to get in your camper while it's not plugged in, then you're able to turn the battery disconnect on. What that's going to do while you're plugged in or driving down the road, it charges your battery. So keep that in mind. If you keep it plugged in all the time, that's okay. Just make sure you check your battery on a regular basis to make sure the fluid levels are proper, and only use distilled water in your regular deep cycle batteries. Now while hooked up to your city water, you can also, while you're hooked up here, you have the knobs there turned in that direction. As you can see, you can fill your fresh water tank. When you're dry camping, you're just going to be turning these as such. So you fill your tank, then if you want to use your fresh water tank, you're going to have it in that location. And what you're going to be able to do is, when you're filling your fresh water tank, be sure to check under here and watch the overflows for your fresh water tank. Once it's filled, at that point it'll overflow. Notice how they do not have any caps on the blue valves. That is more from a legality standpoint. Keep in mind that as you're towing down the road, if you had a full tank, there is a possibility that your tanks could siphon out. So for those of you that are concerned about that, you may want to install some type of a valve on these overflows and shut them after you fill them. The key with that is that you must make sure that they're open when you fill your freshwater tank. Otherwise, you will damage your RV. Now, I like the fact that they're using the larger dump valve for your freshwater tank right there. Just pull that handle, and you have two tanks. You have one here, and then you have one over there. So it's a double 2-tank system, allowing you're going to be carrying it's roughly about 100 gallons of fresh water with you because of that. So you notice you have a blue valve right here. That's overflow for tank, one of your tanks, and there's the other one there. Now keep in mind, because these tanks are forward of the axles, as you can see, the tongue weight on these trailers is not what it says it is in the book. They're going to be considerably heavier, and you have to account for the additional weight if you're towing with these tanks full. Now, as of right now, when you're looking at the specs online, they are not showing a tongue weight. So stay tuned, and I will be weighing the tongue on this to give you a better idea of what it is with the way this one is equipped. Keep in mind, I just delivered a 21G, and if you take a look at the specifications online, it says that the tongue weight is 920 pounds. When we weighed it, it was 1,300 pounds. Now that's without putting water in the freshwater tank. That was with, that was with a generator on it, and of course that did have a bedroom slide up front. So I'm going to be curious to see what the weight is on this. Be sure that your truck is capable of carrying that weight, and do not buy into the fact that just because you're using weight distribution that lessens the tongue weight. It does not. It does even out the weight, but if it's 1,300 pounds of tongue weight, it's 1,300 pounds of tongue weight when you're towing it without anything on the back. So keep that in mind when and if you're looking at this. Be safe out there. Now, the next thing you're going to have is, of course, your Suburban furnace, 110 outlet. Pretty self-explanatory. Your water heater, that is going to be your Atwood water heater. Benefit there, 6-gallon water heater gives you up to 18 gallons of hot water an hour. I'll link a video down below explaining to you how you can get up to 18 gallons of hot water an hour. And that, like I say, that link will be down below. Be sure to check that video out as well. Now, I like how they've made it very accessible for you to get to your tank pull. So right here underneath of where you're going to be hooking up your water and so forth, is you're going to have 2 tank pulls. One's going to be gray, one's black. That's going to be for the bathroom. Now, they're all going to be coming down this tube, and it comes out at one location here, as you can see. So nice thing with that is you're also going to be dumping your kitchen sink. It has its own tank as well, and that's going to come out of the same discharge. Benefit there for you is you're not having to get multiple hoses with the Y to be running into the sewer. So I think it was a great way of how they designed this. Now, just behind the slide, you're going to have a ladder so that you can actually get up on the roof. It is a walkable roof. If you want to hang out up there and sunbathe or whatever, you are able to do that. Just be careful. Don't be wearing high heels. Don't be bringing chairs up there and things of that nature. Just go on up there and have a good time, and be very careful. Now, the thing you're going to like about this ladder is the fact that when you're not using it, as you can see, it secures quite nicely back up against the camper, so it's not out very far. But however, when you want to get up on the ladder, all you need to do is pull these pins on either side. You extend the ladder, and then you just want to put these pins in on either side just to extend it, and actually just be able to make sure that you have it secure for when you're getting up on this ladder. You're going to also notice there's a sprayer port right here. Remember when we talked about that outside shower, you're able to put it here so that when you're using it, you need to spray off the deck or whatever, it's very easily for you to get to it while you're on the deck. So now let's go on the roof and show you what you can expect up there and what you're supposed to be checking on while you're up there. So on the roof here, as you can see, you have a little bit of room to kind of hang out up here. But the reason why you're going to want to get up this ladder each time before you put the slide in is check and look on top of that slide. Make sure that there's no debris on it before you bring it in. Up here, of course, you have the air conditioner. You have your Winegard 360, couple of vents. We'll show you those when we're inside. One's in the kitchen area, one is in the bathroom. And your vent tubes for your tanks, as well as the vents. These little white things right here, these are what they call an attic vent, allowing the moisture to escape from inside your roof cavity. But this is everywhere you see there's this white sealant up here. That is what you're checking for cracking, peeling, or bubbling. and then resealing as needed with the proper sealants. Make sure you do that on a regular basis, meaning at least every 90 days. Now, as you can see for the ladder, you got a little step so you can grab that when you're coming up on the roof there. And then that's the area where you can actually kind of hang out. This is a curved roof, allowing the water to be running off when you do encounter rain and so forth. Now, it is already wired for you for the Jaboni. This would be for your solar panels in the event that you wanted to put some solar panels up here. Now, other than getting up here for maintenance, as you can see, you could get up here if you wanted to hang out. Maybe you got a nice view somewhere. You want to kind of take a look around. I mean, look at the view you have from on top of your roof. So it's not just for maintenance anymore. It's to, you know, if you want to get away from whoever, great place to hang out. You do have a full-size spare that's going to be back aft of the axles. And then also notice how you have your LP Quick Connect here. Now, I know somebody's saying, well, Paul, why is this on the off-door side? Well, the reason for that is because if you're using that, more than likely you're going to be on this back deck here cooking, and you'll be seeing why when when we get up and take a look at what is up on this back wall here. So now let's talk about this ramp. Now, the good thing about this is that ramp, the bottom part of that ramp there, not the ramp, but I'm sorry, the deck itself, the lowest point on that is 29 inches from the ground. So the slope on this ramp going in here is going to be very, very minimal. So let me show you how you go ahead and pull this thing down. So you have locks on both sides, and what you need to do is you need to pull this back and it'll latch in place. You're going to do it on both sides. You're also going to notice that it has on both sides, and you might have seen these, it's very similar to what you might see on the regular Momentums when you're putting them inside of the doors on the back. So that's helping as far as for the weight. Notice how this thing's not falling down on me right now. So you're going to pull this thing out. And it comes out that easy. So that's a nice, not a very steep ramp going in there. Going to make it easier for getting your toys on and off. Now, the other nice thing with this ramp, because of these cables here, is that when you're lifting it back up, it is not taking that much weight, or it doesn't take, you could probably have your children actually lifting these things up here. So once you start lifting it, it already starts going back in. Then it's just a matter of you getting these and locking it back on. It is that easy, and I'll tell you, a great design in my opinion. Now, earlier you heard me say how this is pretty much a West Virginia inspired type toy hauler. And you know, and that's not a knock on the West Virginia people. I'll tell you, West Virginians are pretty innovative, and I'll tell you, this is a great concept, and I think you're going to like what I'm going to show you next. So another benefit of having this party deck the way it is compared to your typical toy hauler is the fact that this is set up for the weather. Whereas those that have the party decks where you're putting down the deck, those things are not meant to be out in the weather. So if it's raining or it's getting a lot of dew, that water is not meant to be on top of that surface, because it will find its way in, and over time it will destroy that deck. Whereas this one, it's made for being out here. But let's show you how you can enjoy more here. You're going to have your awning up on top here, and then of course in this area, take a look at this. You've got your own TV, you've got a sink, you have a Suburban cooktop, and that's basically a Blackstone grill knockoff, in my opinion. Stereo speakers out here. You're going to have storage up above here, as you can see. Down below, I know you're probably saying, well, Paul, where's my refrigerator? There it is right down there. Notice how the door also stays open. It's magnetically held up against the rail. And then you're going to have a little storage, because you know you're going to have some goodies out here. And it has place for you to put some of your goodies out here, and it has the slam latches. So that is your outside area. Let me show you what this awning looks like out here. So as you can see now, the awning is out. It comes out a little over 6 feet. It's about 78 inches. It's extended from the rear wall here. You're also going to notice you have the LED light strip up above the, well, down below I say, but it's above the kitchen area, giving you the additional lighting that you may want while you're hanging out here. Although I don't think that most people are going to use it due to the fact that those lights, they attract bugs. Now I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, Paul, well, how the heck are you going to secure all this stuff out here? Well, your doors down below are going to be using the same keys as far as your other storage doors, but this particular lock here, this will actually come down. This bar is what's latching underneath here, and they have its own separate key to keep that locked and secured. So another thing you're going to like about this cargo deck, party deck, in fact, these nice stairs going right up on it. You've got its own railing system here. Nice gated door here, but more importantly is the way that you can tie down your stuff. Not only do they have your typical D-rings, if you want to call them here, they got plenty of those, but they also have your tie-down strap connections that you have on either side, allowing you to secure your precious cargo back here. They do have stickers on, as you can see. Let me just take a look, see if you can see that okay. These are on the railings. You do not want to be securing your cargo or standing on these rails and so forth. Again, just a word of precaution there for you. Now, as you can see there, you are wired and framed for the Furrion rear observation camera, and that will allow you to not only see things behind you when you're backing up, but as you're moving forward as well. Giving you an idea what it looks like with the awning out on over your door area. And what I like about this awning is the fact that how you can adjust it. Let me just show you. I love the fact that this party deck is right here. Makes it a little bit easier. But as you can see right here, you're able to pull this down, and I would tell you to adjust them the same on both ends. As you can see right now, that awning is pretty much straight out. You've got plenty of clearance over top of the door to go ahead and drop that down so that water would run off of it instead of puddling up on it. Now when you do that, once you've gone ahead and adjusted that, you don't need to adjust it back to where it is now in order to bring the awning in. I would just tell you to have both of them set in the same hole as you're bringing it back in, regardless of what hole they're in. Now, as I showed you on your back deck, you had the stereo speakers. And by the way, these are not just your ordinary stereo speakers. These are marine grade, and as you can see, they are the premium sound system, and it's the Rockford Fosgate stereo system. Now, for some of you, maybe that TV on the party deck isn't enough for you. Maybe you need another TV out here. Well, guess what? You're able to add one over here. You have the 110 outlet, as well as your cable connection, allowing you to watch, if you have your satellite hooked up through there, your cable and or local TV. One last storage area, and that is going to be on the front door side. And this is one of the ones that's tall. For those of you that might be short, you might be having a little tough time actually unlatching that top doors. You can see how tall this thing is inside here. Goes all the way up to the roof in here. So lots of storage for tall things in there. So now that we've seen the outside and everything that it offers, let's get inside and take a look at what is offered to you on the inside. So just a quick pan of as you see when you come in the door. Now I just wanted to give you an idea of the space that you have with the slide out in. Now you'd be able to use this with the slide out in, except you would not be able to pull this bed out, and you would not be able to get your other bed down, but you do have plenty of seating area and so forth. So let's put the slide out and see what we have. Now to give you a better idea of the room that you have. So you are going to have a sofa bed here. You are going to have, of course, your kitchen area. And then, of course, you have the bunk beds in the back and the bathroom. So I'm going to break down each of the sections for you here. So this is your typical trifold bed. Let me pull this out and let you see how much room you actually have when this is out. Now, because of how much room there's in here, we're kind of limited on space here, so I'm hoping you'll be able to see it all right. But it's typically, you're going to take off your rear cushions. You just need to get them set somewhere until you open the bed. After you open the bed, you can put them in back behind the sofa area. You can use that to lean on and so forth. So once you have those off, it's just like all the other ones. You're pulling this out. As you can see, you have the legs that fold out here. They'll fold down, and then this last section here folds here. Now, the benefit of, because the way this slide out is, you don't have that slope going down towards the back like you did in some of the others. I think it's a much better layout here for this. Let me show you the room you have. So as you can see, that is what it looks like, and take a look at the space you have here to walk around the bed. Plenty of room. Now the dimension of this bed, it's about 57 inches wide, and it's just about 71 inches in length. So this is, if you're an adult, you're going to be curling up like a little baby, but hopefully you're going to sleep like a baby on that nice, comfortable sofa bed. So now to put it back up, we're just reversing what we're able to do here, what we did to pull it out. Just want to pull up your back section here, and then this is going to fold in here. Now, because of the way this slide out is made, you're not going to have the room up underneath this sofa like you do in the flush floor slides, because this is actually, the ends are kind of cut out to fit down over this floor on this sofa here, or well, on the slide out here. So you just fold in legs, and it's going to just drop right down in there, and then it's just a matter of you putting your cushions back in place. Now they do have Velcro on there, keeping them from moving around on you, but it's that simple to put back together so that you could use it during the day. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, Paul, if that's not big enough bed for me to sleep on, that sofa bed, where the heck are the adults going to sleep? And as you can see right behind me there, that's where they're going to sleep. Let me show you how that comes down. So as you come in the door, there's a panel area, which I'll show you in a minute. And what you're going to do is get in there, make sure that you have things out of the way, and you're going to go ahead and pull it down. Now, what I'm going to show you when I'm pulling this bed down, I want to show you the room that you would have in the event somebody wanted to sleep on the sofa and you had the bed down. In order to bring it down, this is on 4 straps. And all it's doing is it's going to be coming down. And it's not moving real fast or anything. You don't want to have anybody on it. One thing I'd recommend you do, because this TV is on a swivel, make sure that you have it back out of the way. If you had it out too far, you're going to be hitting, the bed will be hitting it, and you will cause some damage. So make sure that's out of your way. And then you're just bringing the bed down. It does come down very low. You don't need a ladder to get in this bed. Well, let me put it this way. Most people won't need a ladder. Might need a step stool, but you don't need a ladder to get into this bed. Make sure that you pull your chairs out of the way, because as you can see, it is coming down a long way. So there you have it. Now let me show you the room that somebody would have if somebody wanted to sleep on the sofa here as well as on the bed. Now, just to give you an idea of the room that you have in the event that you had the bed down, and for the sofa, that's roughly about 9 inches of room between the two. This bed up here is actually a little over 90 inches in length and about 57 inches wide. So quite the large bed. Now, as of right now, I do not have the weight that this is rated for, but keep checking below the video, and I should have those ratings for you in a short period of time. Just waiting for my manufacturer rep to get back to me on that. Now, while this bed was down, I did lay on the sofa to see if I'd fit. As long as I lay on my stomach, I'm okay. But see, with this 30-pack abs, cannot lay on my back. Now I'm waiting to find out from Grand Design also if in fact that this bed has to be all the way down when being used. Because if in fact that they allow you to even bring it down maybe a little, maybe bring it up just a little bit to allow people to sleep on that bed, that might be more conducive to being able to be sleeping more. In that fact, you'll be able to sleep about 6 people in here. So I will have that information down below the video once I have those answers. Now during the day, if you leave your pillows and so forth on the bed, not going to be a big deal. You don't have to put it all the way up while you're using it. You just want to make sure that you have it all the way up for when you're traveling. As you see, it doesn't take very long for it to either go up or down. Quite an ingenious way to resolve this type of a sleeping dilemma. So now for your Euro recliners, they do have a tie down for you to go ahead and tie them down for travel. That way there, then you can untie them, you can move those around. But they're quite comfortable. Be sure that you check those out when you do stop in one of these campers and see how comfortable they are. Now let's talk a little bit about what you have in this particular area. Your TV, which does pull out and swivel, be sure that you have it properly put away when you're traveling. You do have the fireplace down below. That is electric. It is not propane. So it allows you, since you're camping, if you're plugged into power, you're not having to utilize your propane to knock the chill off inside of here. As you can hear, I have the air conditioner running right now. And I did that so that you can hear that it's really not going to be that much, that's not very loud. Love these Coleman Mach air conditioners because typically they are in the living area, and that way there when you're watching a movie and so forth or playing some music, it is not overpowering and you're not having to turn up the sound on either your TV or stereo to drown out the noise from the air conditioner. You're going to have pretty good storage here up above. As you can see, nice large doors. This is where you're going to have your stereo system. You're going to notice that you have a USB and this is Bluetooth. Now that one allows you to go ahead and plug in, let's say a DVD player or some other type of a system so that if you're watching videos, you have that playing through the sound system. So, and then you have the 3 zones. You can have the zone, one zone's going to be in here, you have a couple speakers here, then you have a zone out back, and then on your door side. Over here you're going to have some additional storage as well. I'll pan these a little bit, I'll get a little bit closer so that you can take a look at those. Just want to kind of give you an idea of the depth of those cabinets. Now on your door, you're going to see, it's going to say right up here that it's thin shade ready. You can see through the window, but if you wanted to put in those shades, what that allows you to do is have your additional privacy. But take a look at the windows you have for giving you lots of light in here. So that's going to be on your door side. And then over off on your other side, of course, you can see you have the kitchen window. And then, of course, you have in the slide out, you've got the 3 additional windows. So lots of great light in here. Now I know I didn't show those Euro recliners very much, but there they are, and you can see they actually has, it's like a recliner. They call those a Euro recliner. They spin and so forth. Quite the nice, comfortable chair. Now as far as outlets for you in this area, you have outlets that GFI protected as well as USB right here by the sofa. Don't see any on this side over here, but notice that your heat ducts are up off the floor. You have a heat duct blowing across your floor there as well as there, and then you're going to have additional back towards the bunk beds. Let me just kind of give you a look looking back this way. So let's take a look at the kitchen. So as you come in the door, this is kind of be, I guess, your pantry, if you will. Good sized pantry, if you ask me. They're not very deep, but that makes it a lot easier. You're not going to get things lost. And then, of course, all your controls are very easily accessible. Awnings, lights, water heater, generator, and then, of course, you have a power control system that will allow you not to hopefully not throw breakers when you overuse your power. So underneath your sink, you're able to you have it at the end of the counter here, as well as access right by the sink itself. Nice high-rise faucet with a pull-out faucet sprayer. Nice big kitchen farm-style sink, and I think you have adequate counter space there as well. The window with the pull-down shade, and I think what some people are going to like about that, it's not that metal shade that always drives people crazy. Right up here you have some additional light switches here, as well as a additional 110 outlet for on top of your countertop there. Looking at your 3-burner cooktop, nice thing with this is nice and flush mounted when you're not using it, and it's easily flipped up for when you do want to use it. This striker, make sure you only turn it clockwise. Not only will that light the burners there, that will also light your oven. Now I know that's kind of a small oven, but now 9 out of 10 people don't use it. You have this little light switch right here. What you're able to do is if it's on light on number 2, you see it'll turn on the light on the inside of the oven. And then if you have it on 1, it just turns on the lights on top of the dials themselves. Storage above your countertop here. You can see good storage. That's going to be right here. And then of course you have right above the microwave. Notice how it holds up by itself. You're not having to use one hand to hold the door up while you're pulling things out or putting things away. What do you think about the doors and the decor in here? You liking it or not? So you have 4 drawers over here, and all of them are full extension drawer glides, allowing you to get to the back of the drawer without having to move things. Notice how also that is a 4-sided wood, making it for a more durable drawer, something that's going to last you a little longer than ones that are not. Lastly, in the kitchen area of your storage, this is going to be underneath the refrigerator. I think good storage, nice and deep. We'll go over this refrigerator in a moment, but then you're going to notice there is your Rockford Fosgate subwoofer, and you're going to choose how loud you want that to be for the added bass, or how low you want it to be. So you have a choice on that. And so this is your Norcold refrigerator freezer. And I personally, it doesn't matter to me whether I have a 6 cubic foot refrigerator, 12 or 18. I still have 2 or 3 coolers with me to make sure that I have enough storage for things that are cold. So the other thing you're going to like about this Coleman Mach air conditioner is the fact that you have the quick cool feature on that. So if you get in here and it's hot, you're able to dump the air into this area, cooling it down much quicker. But more importantly, let's say you come in and you're hot, you can open one of those and have it dump the cold air directly on you. So it is a ducted system, ducted all the way through your coach. Even in the bathroom. And the benefit to have it in the bathroom is that way there in the summertime, it's not hot in there. And then of course, in the wintertime, it does have the heat duct as well. So that way there, it's not cold in that bathroom either. Now in speaking with the bathroom, the fact that it has the pocket door, for the most part, you're probably going to leave that open unless somebody's actually utilizing it. Take a look at the shower, good sized shower. And I'll tell you, I really am impressed with this Italian tile work that is around the shower. They do a phenomenal job with that. Make sure that you touch it, feel it, and check it out when you do stop in to look at this Momentum. Just to give you an idea of the ceiling height in here, you have 92 inches to the ceiling. Now, when you're thinking about that, let me just show you something when you're coming into the bathroom here. With that being said, you see you have a step getting into the shower there. So in the bathroom here, because of that step up, you have 86, almost 87 inches up inside of that skylight there. So even for those of you that are tall, plenty of room for you inside that shower. Good cabinet space in here. You're going to have nice counter space. pretty good sized sink. And then you're not going to have any problem in front of that toilet there either, because you're sitting looking into the toilet, your shower there. So plenty of room. And again, the fact that I like that it has the pocket doors, or the pocket door itself. Giving you an idea of what it looks like inside of the medicine cabinet there. And then this would be the one over top of the toilet. Now you do have a power vent fan in here, and it does work on a switch on the wall. The only downside is you're going to have to open that manually. Now, the benefit of that, give me a second here, let me tell you something on this. So in the kitchen you also have another vent. It doesn't have a power vent fan, but the reason why I like the smaller fans in the bathroom, or even if you had one here, is the fact that you do not need to open a window or vent when using the smaller fans. If you were to put a fantastic fan, let's say in this one or the bathroom, understand one thing, that when you utilize it, you have to have a vent or window open when you use it. Now the downside of that is if it's really hot out, then that's pulling all that hot air in while you're trying to cool the place down. Now you probably say to me, Paul, why the heck do I need to go ahead and open a window or vent? Because the amount of air that is moving, it needs to have that, otherwise it is over time going to burn out that motor, because it's just putting additional stress on that. Now, the benefit of these, you don't have to open one. But the benefit of the fantastic fan is if you were camping and you, let's say, didn't have power, you only had battery power, the benefit of the fantastic fan, or max air fan, whatever you want to call them, you can open windows and that gives you the ability to be moving air. So it all depends on how you're using it. So hopefully that's enough information so that you can understand which one works best for you. So here are your bunk beds, and notice how they have the individual curtains, as well as you can see the window in each of the bunks. And that's a pretty adequate bunk as well. It's 78 inches in length and 32 inches wide. So there's your bunk beds. Now right back here underneath your cabinets, this is where you're going to have your breakers and fuses. So you see your breaker panels right here, very easily accessible, as well as your additional breakers right to the left of that. Very easy to get to, easy to read them, and so forth. Then you're going to have your drawers. As you can see, nice large drawers. Here is to block the light from the windows if you wanted to. But as you can see, good sized drawers there. Now in your hanging closet here, this is where they have a table for you, so you're able to actually put that right in front of the sofa or bring it outside. So that's inside here. Nice good hanging closet. And then of course you have additional space up above here, and notice how it gets up high out of the way. Probably a little bit easier for me height wise if I'm up in the top bunk to be able to reach in there. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the all brand new 2021 Momentum. This is a 29 Go or GO by Grand Design. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you're liking what I'm showing you here, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you're thinking. You know, you liking this new style of a toy hauler? Is this something that's going to work for you? So keep in mind one thing, that if you're going to call Beckleys or stop by, email, or whatever, be sure that you ask for Paul the Air Force guy, and I'll be more than happy to help you out with that. My contact information, as well as the specifications for this, will be down below this video. Let me know if there's something else you'd like me to cover for you. Maybe another particular camper that you'd like me to do a review on, how-to video, or what might be something that, maybe a question I can answer for you. So I do appreciate you watching, and I'll be coming back at you again soon. Take care.